What's up, guys? You know, we have tested many budget LED projectors on our channel, Tech Brothers, and we only had one laser projector from FOMovie. However, it was a very compact 720p projector. Now I have a little bigger laser projector with native 1080p resolution, 1200 ISO lumens brightness, autofocus and automatic keystone correction, and even Google TV operating system. It is called Dangbei Atom. While it is larger than the projector from FOMovie that we tested before, it is much more compact than other LED projectors. We know laser projectors also have other advantages over LED projectors, and we will talk about them in this video. So the Dangbei Atom projector comes in a box like this. Here we can see its image, along with the main features like Google TV, Chromecast, built-in, and Hey Google. The other features of this projector are on the sides, such as Dolby Audio, Full HD, Auto Keystone, Autofocus, and Wi-Fi. The projector also has Netflix, YouTube, and Prime Video. After opening the box, first we can see the projector itself. We will look at it in more detail a little later. Then there is a nice strap that you need to pull to get accessories to the projector, such as power adapter and power cable, remote control, batteries, and user manual. By the way, you can additionally buy a frame stand to this projector that allows you to rotate it 360 degrees. This is a very useful thing, but unfortunately I don't have one. By the way, on the Nothing Projector website, the price of the projector only and the projector with a frame stand is the same, so be sure to choose the option with a stand. Let's move on to design. As I said before, the Dangbei Atom is a compact projector, but it is not portable because it doesn't have a built-in battery. Its dimensions are 195 by 195 by 48 mm. The weight is 1270 grams. You know, one of the advantages of laser projectors over LED projectors is their compact size. For comparison, here are some LED projectors next to the laser projector. As you understand, laser projectors use a laser instead of LED lamps, so they are more compact. However, the laser also provides much higher brightness and contrast. We will talk about that a little later. The front panel of the Dangbei Atom has a lens, a DTOF or direct time-of-the-flight sensor, and CMOS sensor. There is power button with LED indicator, ventilation window, HDMI port, USB port, 3.5mm audio jack, and DC in port on the back. The speakers are located on the left and right sides. They are large, so I guess the sound quality will be good. We will check it out later. Usually, there is nothing interesting at the bottom of the projector, but here we can see PTZ bracket socket. I have already talked about a frame stand for this projector, and it is mounted here. However, you can also install the projector on any tripod using a 1/4 inch tripod screw. The top panel has only the Dangbei logo. As you can see, all control is done with the remote. You know, it is very minimalistic, but I like it. There is power button, voice assistant button, navigation, return, home, volume up and down, and even YouTube, Netflix, and Prime Video. I guess that's all about design. I like the look of this projector, but I'm bummed that I don't have a frame stand. If you will be buying the Dangbei Atom, choose one with a frame stand. It is very convenient. Meanwhile, I mount it on a simple tripod. Just after turning on the projector, we can see Dangbei and the Google TV logos. The focus and keystone are automatically adjusted. Since this is the first time I turned on the projector, I need to make the first settings, such as selecting language, region, Google TV or Basic TV, and connecting to the Wi-Fi network. By the way, as soon as the projector connected to Wi-Fi, it started downloading and installing the system update. This process will take about 30 minutes. After that, you need to sign in to your Google account and wait for the setup to complete. Finally, it's ready. By the way, I didn't pay attention to this until I saw the system that Dangbei Atom runs Google TV, not Android TV. To be honest, I haven't seen Google TV before. Moreover, the Dangbei Atom is the first Google TV laser projector on the market. At least that's how the manufacturer advertises it. You know, Google TV really looks different from Android TV. On the home screen we can see the latest show on Prime Video. The projector has pre-installed apps such as Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, Apple TV+, YouTube Music and more. And finally, there are new shows on Apple TV+. I think you can customize the home screen to your preferences. After that, we can go to the Apps menu. Here we can see the applications already installed, as well as a catalog with other apps. You can use search or categories to find any app. Finally, there is a library menu with movies purchased from the Google Play Store. Does anyone buy movies on Google Play? Talking about settings of the Dangbei Atom projector, first you can use the Quick Settings menu to change the screensaver. And select the input source. In the picture settings, we can choose the brightness mode from Standard, Eco, Custom and High Performance. You know, the cooling fan starts working hard in the High Performance mode. I'm going to use Standard mode. After that, we can change the picture mode, such as Standard, Vivid, Movie, Game and Custom. There's even a 3D mode available on this projector, but you need to set it to a 3D source. Among the color temperature modes are Standard, Warm and Eye Care. You can also enable Game mode, but it is only available when you connect it to your game console with an HDMI cable. The sound settings have sound modes such as Standard, Movie, Music, Sport and Custom, as well as surround sound and expert settings. There is also Wi-Fi, accessibility, and Bluetooth in the Quick Settings menu of the Dangbei Atom projector. If that's not enough for you, you can go to the All Settings menu. Here we have the input settings. Projector settings. We will come back to them a little later. Display and sound. We have already talked about them. Network and Internet, accounts, privacy, apps, system. Remotes and accessories. I said we will come back to the projector settings later, because you can just press the side button on the remote to get to those settings. Here we can adjust the focus, such as autofocus, manual focus, and use advanced functions such as autofocus at startup, autofocus when moving, and deep focus always on. The image correction settings include auto keystone correction, manual keystone correction, fit to screen, zoom and shift, reset to default settings, and advanced functions such as auto keystone correction after movement and obstacle avoidance. The Dangbei Atom projector has a Bluetooth speaker mode, and we will check it out a little bit later.
Bluetooth speaker mode is ready. Please use your phone to connect.
Finally, the advanced settings include smart eye protection that works very well. Projection mode. One-click dust removal, and remote control. We have already talked about Google TV settings, so we have gotten pretty deep into the settings, but that's because there is really a lot of them in the Google TV system. Another advantage of Android TV and Google TV projectors is that they support certified applications of streaming services such as Prime Video, Apple TV+, Netflix, etc. You will not have any problems with these apps, unlike some other budget projectors with custom Android or even Linux systems. By the way, the Dangbei Atom projector also supports Chromecast. You can quickly cast any content from your smartphone or other device. That's very convenient. Okay, now let's go back to Bluetooth speaker mode.
Bluetooth speaker mode is ready. Please use your phone to connect.
The projector is equipped with dual 5-watt speakers and Dolby audio support. To connect your smartphone to the projector, you need to enter Bluetooth speaker mode.
Bluetooth
Take your
connection
phone, go to
successful.
Bluetooth menu and select the projector. You know, I am surprised at the volume level given the compact size of the projector. The speakers are very loud. In addition, it has a very strong bass. I don't know about listening to music, but for watching movies, these speakers are great. Another advantage of the laser projector over LED projector is a very quiet cooling fan. You know, the projector is almost silent. It is only 43 decibels close by. And 40 decibels at 1 meter. You can only hear the fan when high performance mode is selected in the brightness settings. But I don't think you will be doing that very often. Finally, let's move on to image quality. The Dangbei Atom projector has 1080p native resolution. You can select a maximum resolution of 1080p 60 fps on YouTube, but I was surprised to see HDR support. By the way, I am shooting with my iPhone, so maybe you are not seeing exactly the same image as I am in real life. The colors are actually very good. In addition, the Dangbei projector has a high brightness of 1200 ISO lumens. The projector literally lights up the entire dark room. So you can watch any content on this projector, including dark movies and games.
Your mom and your boss, who you hate, gets weird. Mom?
Zara, if you can hear me, name the movie I want a teen trust car.
We're gearing up.
How did
I adjusted it to reality.
and did that?
No, it doesn't work on everything. No, you can't try it. No, you can't drive. No more questions. Now get in.
are held hostage.
Break the door! Hit the siren!
Two of the city's finest must come together.
Green, red.
You were gone forever. It was 3 days. Where are we going?
Before Molly stole TPT's heart, our ancestors wanted to connect our island to all the people of the entire ocean. It's my job.
Against the low block, and then chance to counter-attack is nipped in the bud by Bruno Fernandes.
Comes underneath, and there goes. As she runs into the secondary with 46-yard line. Gain of 16 to Kansas City, first down. That gets you to 50.
Now it's right.
In addition, you can use the Dangbei Atom projector in a bright room. Although the colors are not as rich as in a dark room, you can see the projection perfectly.
First, you get the timeout. Look how tight they are. They're ready for an inside run. And they're back right there to pounce on them.
So let's draw conclusions. We have tested over 100 projectors on our channel Tech Brothers, but I can safely say the Dangbei Atom is the best one we have ever had. At the same time, it is the most expensive projector we have ever had. Yes, LED projectors will be much cheaper, but laser projectors have many advantages, such as compact size, quiet operation, and excellent image quality. In addition, the Dangbei Atom has a Google TV system with certified streaming services, as well as quality Dolby audio speakers. So if you are looking for a compact Google TV projector with a great image quality, this is probably the best option. Thank you for watching. See you soon!